In the next 1 hour, I'm going to show you how to turn your already existing skills and interest in booming tech fields like cybersecurity, AI, or data analytics into flexible, remote, part-time income anywhere between $3,000 to $10,000 every single month by just working 10 to 20 hours a week. That will unlock your financial freedom and free you from living paycheck to paycheck, so you will never have to worry about your future or stay stuck in a career you hate ever again. All without stacking up useless certifications or grinding 9 to 5 jobs, going back and forth to the office every day. And once you learn this, then you'll be able to start making the type of money you have always wanted in tech, and you will never have to earn way less than what you deserve or grind in an office job away from your family. So after you know how to leverage your existing skills and interest in tech, market and sell your skills and services at a premium price, and do that from anywhere you want, anytime you want, you will go from underpaid, undervalued, overworked, and overwhelmed to a remote, rewarding lifestyle in tech with lots of freedom without hating your job. And that's when you will unlock the true freedom in your life. And when you know how to tap into that remote income mindset, you'll be able to enjoy the life to the fullest and never return to that typical work life. And this will free you from wasting your life with underpaid roles or tasks that you couldn't care less about. And if you want to learn more, continue watching and you will have access to part 1 of the series, Cyber Transform Business Academy, also known as Remote Income Academy. And this session was recorded live in our private community, Cyber Transform. So if you would like to join and get more support and guidance, follow the links below. This is Emin Caliskan, the founder of Peak Cyber Institute and Cyber Transform programs. And let's get started. Okay, I think we are ready. Let's quickly make sure that the recording is there. I can see Simran. Hi, Simran. Good to have you. Harun is on deck. And Ismail is there as well. Quick audio check. You can hear me okay, right? I'm going to share my screen just a second. All right, Damien, good to see you. Welcome. We have Said. We have iPhone. Guys, if you could update your names, that would help a ton. Why? Because please use these training sessions like an opportunity, okay, to meet with people, show your face, don't pay for it, because that's the marketing and sales bit. In fact, that's one of our topics today that I want to talk about and help you, because at the end of the day, beyond careers, if you're interested in making money remotely online, which is the topic of today, as you can see on the screen, right? Then we need to appreciate the fact of marketing and sales, right? Because if you don't do it, if you don't have it, how's that going to work, right? So that being said, why don't we dive in? Let me just adjust my settings real quick here. Okay, I see Devin is here. MR, guys, welcome. It's great to have you. Okay, and if you're new here, as promised, by the end of the session, you will get my book as kind of like a bonus, and also a couple of important tips of how you can really turn your already available skills and experience. I'm not talking about getting skills and like it takes like 2 years, 4 years to get it. I'm talking about how you can use your already available skills and monetize it. Let's say I'm new in the game. Okay, let's say maybe you're saying, hey, this is new for me. How's that even possible? Well, I'll show you why and how this is possible for you as well, regardless of where you are, regardless of who you are, whether you speak English good enough, whether you have the work permits, or anything maybe that you have to work remotely in a different island. I don't know. Maybe that's your dream life anyway. I'll talk about that. So let's dive in. We have a limited time. It will take around like 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes, and I will take your questions as well. And we go from there. First of all, who this is for, okay? This is for people who are interested in creating a remote lifestyle in tech. Okay, remote lifestyle in tech, regardless of the background or experience. Okay, so maybe you have heard about software development. You want to become a software developer. Maybe you are already a software developer, but guess what? How can you generate cash and money to make a living out of it? We'll talk about that. We will not spend so much time on technical skills development. In fact, I'll show you the shortcuts that a lot of people use, especially the A players in this game. And if you want to turn your passion into freelancing, contracting, or any remote business opportunity, okay, then this is for you. And by the end of the session, you will learn how simple it is to earn as much as $10,000 per month doing the things that you love in the tech industry. And tech means if you use your computers, that's tech, okay? As simple as that. You don't have to be like a tech whiz or genius or anything like that, right? By the way, I just noticed that maybe someone is having trouble to join. Let me see. Should be okay, Harun. I disabled the waiting room. Oh, they have to just like click on the and dive right in. Okay. And just let me know if you are still having issues. I'll admit. And let's go from there. So again, the key point, my friends, is from anywhere you want, however that you want. Maybe you have different obligations. Okay. Maybe, for example, you have a young family that you need to pay attention. Maybe you need to, collect them from the school. You need to help them with their assignments. And then you just have like 3-4 hours at night. Or maybe you start your day early because in the daytime you cannot work because you have other responsibilities. Or maybe you just want to earn some extra cash. That's it. Because at the end of the day, especially with the financial pressure that we see in the US market and all around the world, really, the problem is many times people try to save as much money as they can. Oh, let me just cut the costs. Let me just cancel my Netflix. Let me just cancel my gym membership. I can go out for running. That's for free, right? But how much can you save? $100, $200, $500? And is that enough? Typically, no. The problem is most people are not earning enough money. That's the real problem. The real problem is not about saving, for example, clipping coupons. That's not that. And with this opportunity that I'm about to show you right now, you can do the same. Okay, you can do and you can get it, and you will see how easy it is. And again, you might be wondering why we are here. Okay, what are we looking for? Let me just tell you. First of all, number one, financial goals. You will make sure that you start generating the income that you want in the remote tech economy industry by taking advantage of the booming opportunities. Because the problem is many times people earn just enough to pay the bills, just enough to pay the mortgage. And then the savings account stays the same. I've been there myself. Yeah. Have you ever felt that way? Like I'm earning, but for whatever reason, it's just slipping through my fingers and then I'm back to zero. So if you are a person like that, you will understand why these extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000. And by the way, maybe your goal is just $500. That's fine. It's all up to you. Maybe that's $5,000. Maybe that's $50,000. By the way, that's entirely possible, right? That's entirely possible. And a couple of years back, I had no idea how easy it is to make it happen. But obviously, there's a lot of mindset upgrades needed, skills upgrades needed, not technical skills I'm talking about, but really understanding the marketing and sales angle. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll talk about that. Number two, contribution. You will not only make the money that you want, but also enjoy everything about your job, everything about your tasks. And then you are also proud of the value that you create. And that's the big thing. It's not like typically in 9 to 5, right? Most people end up working and then doing the tasks that they hate. They are not interested. They just do it for the money. But here, with this opportunity, you will only focus on what you enjoy. That's it. Okay. Oh, by the way, the third bit is the lifestyle. And that's another bit because, as some of our friends know here, a couple of weeks back, I took some time off and then I was at the Balkans, okay, Eastern Europe, first time, never been there. And one thing I noticed, it is damn cheap, right? Compared to the US, California, New York, Los Angeles, UK, Europe, it is like 5 times cheaper sometimes, right? How cool would that be that you enjoy living there, by the way? Beautiful landscapes, by the way. No problem there. It's not like, United States is the best. I thought like that, okay? Many years back, 15, 20 years back when I first relocated to the United States. And then I noticed that's typically, okay, many times, that's just a lie, okay? Because we want to protect what we have. It's the natural human instinct. But then when you notice, you go to Dubai, okay, that's amazing. Like, I spent some time there. It's beautiful. Why not? Okay. Maybe you can go to Africa, Asia, wherever that you want. And you continue earning the type of money that you want and you spend way less. How cool would that be? This is what you can get with this kind of lifestyle. Because otherwise, especially in for example, if you're in Los Angeles or in California, how much tax you pay? Crazy, isn't it? And the rent, the mortgage, and then what happens? You earn a lot of money and then you spend almost all of it back to zero. So with these opportunities, you will understand, it's kind of like you will understand the matrix, like what's happening behind the scenes, and then be able to fix it. Okay. That's what we'll talk about. Okay. So let's continue. Quick background check. If you don't know me yet, I see on some new faces. Some of you've known each other for a long time. This is Emin Caliskan. I'm a tech cybersecurity career and business mentor as well, because as I first started like helping people grow their careers, then I noticed, what am I doing right now? I made the change myself. Okay. I was like a public servant working for 9 to 5, steady paycheck. And then I said, hey, you know what? I'm done with this. Okay. I want to live my own life. What is this? And then I made the change myself and I had to bang my head against the wall. And then I literally wasted a lot of time, wasted a lot of money. In fact, quick interesting story. When I first started, okay, you know what? I'm going to have my own course. I know a lot of things about penetration testing, and I know people need that. Let me just publish that. Let me just sell it. And then I created everything, recorded everything, everything looked fine. The product was great, but there was a problem. I had zero understanding of marketing and sales. That's why it just didn't work. It just tanked. I had to bang my head against the wall, and then had to find the best mentors, best strategies available on the planet. And then I figured it out. Okay. And my hope right now, okay, my goal is to show you all the mistakes that I made so you don't have to. Okay. So you can just get to the bottom line of this and then start getting the outcomes as quickly as possible. Okay. Does it sound fair? So you don't have to kind of go through all the troubles, all the headaches, and you can just get to the outcome. And that's the goal. I have like almost 2 decades of experience, public, private, academic, military organizations, seen everything, done everything, created businesses, exited businesses, millions of dollars. Like, I mean, I've spent a lot of time and money on the things that I'm talking about right now, just to let you know that you are in the right place, okay? But just like everything in life, if you listen but do not execute, it will not work for you. You might as well just quit the session right now, because it is all about the execution of the strategies, not just listening. It's just kind of like reading books, right? For example, most people are like, oh, okay, you know what? How to get fit? Let me just buy that book. Okay, how to get rich? Let me just buy that video course. And you know why those strategies do not work? Because people don't take action typically, or they hit a roadblock. They don't know how to fix it. Many times that's a very easy solution, but they just don't know how. That's why they stay stuck, okay? We'll talk more about that. Education-wise, bachelor's in computer science and industrial engineering, information technology law, master's degree, as obviously a PhD researcher, spent a lot of time there. And then experience-wise, database admin, coming from penetration testing as well, 3-4 years, served at NATO, Cooperative Cyber Defense Center of Excellence, university lecturer, Tallinn University of Technology, and then in New Jersey, Montclair State. And then started my made my move, became a cybersecurity manager with one of the leading audit organizations, Grant Thornton consultancy company, and then started my own thing. In the past 7-8 years, started a lot of different things, different businesses. In fact, that's the topic of today, and some certifications as well. So what is my promise? My promise to you right now, my friends, is a step-by-step strategy for a rewarding remote tech career, tech business, even if you don't have years of experience or tons of qualifications. And that's the crux of it. I'm not talking about, hey, if you have 10 years of experience, you can do this. Well, that's welcome. Like, I mean, if you have that, let's just use it. But if you don't have it, it's fine. It's okay. I know people that all they do is showing some Excel tricks and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. I know people, they just, for example, fix WordPress related problems on websites, but they make a lot of money. Like, it's not like wide, it's like narrow, but they're deep. So that's why you will learn those strategies. And before we go into all that, let me just show you this picture. Do you see this one? Previously, especially like COVID, was like an alarm clock, okay? Was like an alarm that, people woke up from their nightmares. Previously, it was like working 9 to 5 in a corporate office, use company equipment, focused on inputs, climb the corporate ladder. Maybe at some point you'll become a partner. Maybe then you'll make millions of dollars, or have to grind and grind and grind and then clip coupons and then save. Maybe 30 years later, you'll have $1 or $2 million saved, and then you can travel. Have you ever felt that way? Oh, you know what? When I retire, I'll have like $1, $2, $3 million in my account. Then I will start traveling around. I'll go to Paris. I'll go to New Zealand. I'll go to Africa, so on. You'll be 60, 70. Do you think you can enjoy life at that time? Probably not. And that was my wake-up call as well, because I was thinking when I was working with the GSM company, I was like, oh man, I'm going to work so hard this year, and then I'll have 2 weeks of vacation. That was a dream, back-to-back 2 weeks. Ever felt that way? Back to back 2 weeks. Oh my God. And then I'll go and visit my brother in New Zealand. My brother was living in New Zealand back then. He moved to Australia. And then I was like, hey, Emin, you are like 25, 26. What kind of life is it? I don't want that life. I want a change. And then burnt the boats, burnt the bridges. Maybe that was too early, right? But I still took the risk. And it was worth it. Okay. So that's why that was the old fashioned, like the past. Predefined work, lots of information. There's no voice. You just do, like relies on email, focused on knowledge, corporate learning, teaching, old style. When I first started my career, okay, back in 2000, like 6, 7, 8, those years, this was the case. But let's just take a look at what is happening right now. This is not the future. This is right now. You can work anytime that you want. You can work anywhere that you want. You can use any device that you want. Okay, even any technology like AI, as long as you produce the outcomes, who cares? You focus on the outputs, and then you create your own ladder. If you want to start your own business, you can do so. If you want to work as a freelancer contractor, you can do so. No problem. Who's stopping you? Customized work. You can share information. You can become a leader. And then rely on collaborative technologies focused on adaptive learning and then democratized learning and teaching. And that was a big thing because when Udemy or other platforms first started, people thought, oh my God, that's amazing. I can learn anything that I want. But do you feel that way right now? Probably not, because you can learn anything that you want. Everything is available. If not, you can go to ChatGPT and AI. You can ask, I want to learn more about cybersecurity, data inputs, entry, software development. And the tool can teach you based on what you enter, true or not true. Meaning, the information right now is commoditized. But what matters is the outcomes, because companies pay for outcomes, not for the information. Does it make sense? If you provide information, you can make a living, okay, but don't ever think that you'll be relaxed and financially free. You need to focus on the outcomes, my friends. Does it make sense? Is it clear, this part? So please pay attention to this part. And then you might be asking, excuse me, why remote tech economy? First of all, tech is a big problem and opportunity for companies. Believe it or not, it's just not the United States, okay, or Europe. All around the world, especially in Africa right now. Next 1 billion users coming. The population is booming in Nigeria, Ghana, everywhere in Africa, and everywhere around the world. Because of that, there's a huge demand. And how cool would that be to tap into those opportunities, okay? And you can also make money remotely anywhere. Like I remember, for example, I've helped one of the South American countries, army cadets, okay, get the tech and cybersecurity skills that they wanted. I've never been there before. I had no business, but my business was just helping them remotely get the money. How cool is that? You don't have to stay in just one city or location. You can do so. But obviously, you need to understand the logic behind it, okay, and get ready for this. And there are like lots of opportunities, contractors and for businesses. As long as you're ready for this, you can tap into that. No problem. Who's stopping you? Especially after COVID-19, the landscape has shifted dramatically. Yes, I know some companies are like calling back their employees, hey, you got to stay in the office. But that's why you have a choice. Okay. And as they say, if you don't like where you are, just move. You're not a tree, for God's sake, right? Just think about that. So that's why this is the time to create your own future. Okay. And you can do so if you have the right mindset and the skill set to do it. And as long as you want to take part in this economy, the opportunities are endless. Endless. All you got to do is just make a firm decision. And let me just give you some numbers, because at the end of the day, by the way, this is a recent research. In fact, I just, updated today. This is what's happening right now. Okay. Global remote workplace services market. Just think about this. You see the growth 2 times, 3 times more. I'll give you more numbers to support this. Telecommunications, banking, IT, manufacturing, retail, media, others. It's not just IT, by the way. If you use computers, that means that is IT. That's it. That means that's tech. In fact, if you use tablets, that's tech. If you use AI, that's tech. If you use cyber, that's tech. And you can be a part of it, right? You can be a part of it. Another example, remote work, security market, cybersecurity market. You see the growth, okay? Times 3 in just 5 years. Every year, like 20% growth, 25% growth. That's what we see. In fact, market size, okay, this is the remote working market size in 2023, last year, that was $27 billion. Projected in less than 10 years, you see, that's $100 billion all around the world. Meaning, all you got to do is just join. Because of the growth, it will pull you up anyway. You don't have to do some magic because the market size is growing. Okay. Can you imagine that instead of selling iPhones or touchscreen phones, what happens if you try to sell push button old style phones? Like, the Nokia's like, 3110 and the old ones. Do you remember back then, those days? Those years are over. It's not going to work. You'll go bankrupt. No one will buy. So you just choose the winning market. And this is the winning market. All you got to just say, hey, you know what? I want more. I want this. That's it. And like, I can share the link with you later on, the report details, but just pay attention to these numbers. This is what matters the most. And if you want more proof, let me just show you a couple of examples from a couple of years back, by the way, okay? We've been doing this for long, and just take a look at this. This person, okay, from Sri Lanka, which is way cheaper than the United States, charging $30 per hour. And by the time of the screenshot, okay, already made more than $50,000. This is like living a king, okay, in Sri Lanka. You might be wondering, hey, I'm in the United States, I'm in Europe, it's more expensive here. That means you can charge even more, and people would understand that. My point being is the economy is working like this. And just take a look at this person, okay? Charging $3,000 for what? You will get an ISO 27001 compliant security policy. You can apply this to anything and everything. As long as there's a need, you can fulfill that need, and then you can make money out of this, okay? Does that make sense? Do you have any questions, by the way? Let me just take a quick break and then type in the chat if you have any questions so far before we dive into more details. And let me just take a look at what's happening in the chat. Thanks for the obviously Google Meet in the future. It's more private, secure, and less glitchy than Zoom. Zoom always gives me endless audio. And that's really interesting because honestly, we don't experience that, but maybe depending on your ISP provider or something. We are very happy with Zoom, but thanks for the tip. And let me see. Let's see. Take a look at the next steps. Another example. This person from India says, I'm charging almost $1,000 per hour for consultancy. And I don't care much about this because anyone can say, hey, I charge $1 million. But I care about this. Earned more than $100,000. Again, in India, that's a lot of money, right? That's why, please understand, this is a remote economy that we can easily take part. And you might be asking, okay, man, but what are the benefits for me? Let me just rephrase that. First of all, if you have a diverse background, maybe that's tech, maybe that's non-tech, maybe, again, you are not a college graduate, it's fine. I remember one of our amazing friends and graduates in the past for the cyber transfer master program, Nandini. She was amazing, and she didn't have any college degree at all. She's crushing it in cyber right now, okay? Full-time jobs, part-time gigs. How? Why? It's possible for you and for anyone as long as you are committed to this. And maybe full-time jobs no longer work for you, okay? And I cannot picture myself that I want to do something on a Tuesday afternoon, but I just need to be in the office. I cannot even think like that, comprehend that, because that was many years back. I'm done with that kind of lifestyle. Was that easy? No. But it's possible. That means it's possible for you too, because you can get the experience from me and from others, okay? You don't have to experience the stuff yourself. And this is another one. I thought in the past that it's all about skills. I mean, come on, when you have the skills, people will pay you, that's it. And then I noticed it doesn't work that way in the full-time work, permanent work. They will take a look at your visa. They will take a look at your background. They will take a look at your language. They will take a look at your location. There are lots of things to consider. But with this kind of lifestyle, all you got to do is to provide outcomes. Even better, and that's really interesting, you don't even have to do it yourself. All you got to do is to get the business, and then you can hire others, okay, to run it. In fact, let me just tell you a quick story so that you can relax a bit. When I was working as a cybersecurity manager, okay, in one of those audit organizations, management consultants called Grant Thornton, right? My manager, okay, his name was, what was his name? Probably Manu, right? Manu, original from India. And, okay, he told me, hey, Emin, you're a penetration tester, you have that background, but you're working too hard to do the job yourself. It just doesn't make sense. Let's work together to get businesses, okay, from other organizations, sign the contracts, and I'm going to find the people all around the world. I'm going to fly them over to here to this city. I'm going to pay for their hotels. I'm going to pay for their daily rates, and it would still be cheaper for us to run the business. Your job is not to do it yourself. Your job is to do the business, conduct the business. And that was an eye opener for me. Okay. And Robert Kiyosaki talks about this all the time as well. You don't even have to do the things yourself. You can just hire others. That might sound like, what is this, Emin? I want to join this, make money online. Isn't it better to get the business and then hire others and then make the profits out of it? That's different thinking. Most people don't have that thinking. That's why they stay stuck. Okay. They just like, hey, I work, I get money, that's it. To get there, maybe, yes, of course, in the first couple of weeks or months, maybe you need to do a little bit of work yourself. But then when you get the hang of it, you can immediately start and turning that into a business. And then you can just collect their profits. Okay, you can do so. And maybe you don't want to commit to a 40-hour full-time job. Maybe you want to work like 20 hours, 10 hours, 30 hours. That's up to you. And maybe that's another thing. Maybe you want to have more practical hands-on skills while getting paid in tech before landing your full-time job. Because I see some of our members here with our Career Master program, they're looking for like full-time opportunities in cyber. And guess what? Maybe they need and they want more practical skills before committing to a full-time job opportunity. Like, hey, I want to get more skills and then I can charge a bit more. I'm earning like 70K right now. I want to charge 140K. Okay, I want to double my income. But to get there in the next couple of months, I want to have more hands-on experiences and skills so that I'll be more confident. And then my time is not wasted. That's another thing. Most people learn and learn and learn. They just waste their time without getting anything in return. They just learn and then they think, oh, capture the flag, hack the box in cyber. Let me just watch those videos. Let me just go through all those labs. In return, what do you get? What is it? Skills, money. Many times most people stay there because it feels good. But when the end of the month comes, they need to pay mortgage, they need to pay rent. How's that going to work? Right? So that's a total different mindset shift. And maybe you want to make some extra cash by doing the things that you love without affecting your current day-to-day job. Maybe you are already safe and secure and you don't want to change it. Okay, it's fine if you're happy like that. But you want some extra income. Maybe to save money for your child's college tuition. Maybe for an extra summer vacation. Maybe to upgrade your car. Doesn't matter. As long as you get the idea behind it, it works just fine. But you need to understand it. Maybe you want to run your own business. And what's an alternative, better way to start your own business, okay, than obviously learning how to doing it step by step, contracting, freelancing, you know how to hire people, you know how to fire people, you know how to get the business, okay? You know the marketing and the sales and the payrolls, etc. You get the idea? That's why that's a very nice upgrade from being a full-time employee to running your own business. Okay, that transition is key here. And maybe you don't feel confident about your background, skills, age, or any other limiting beliefs. That's not that. By the way, limiting beliefs is the key. Many times we see that all the time. And people go through these limiting beliefs related problems. That's why when they see like 200K job or maybe working from home remotely, they feel insecure. Okay, like, hey, I'm good, I'm working from home. What if they don't believe me? What if when they don't see me, how are they going to pay me that much money? Maybe I'm just sleeping and watching Netflix instead of working, right? Many times people have those limiting beliefs. That's why they push those opportunities away. Instead, hey, corporate job, I want to be in the office. Why? Because of these limited beliefs. And you can overcome those barriers with part-time opportunities and freelancing and contracting. And finally, maybe you only want to do the things that you love without sacrificing your, day-to-day life. Like, let's say you're only interested in, I don't know, web development. It's not just cyber, by the way. We do a lot of cybersecurity, but it's not just cyber. Maybe you're interested in Word. Maybe you're interested in AI, okay? Using like prompt engineering, creating reports. You can do that all day long. And then you can turn that into a business. Because I'm interested in AI, by the way, a lot of people come to me and different businesses to run different webinars. Okay, they need help. And then in return, they want even more business. Hey, Emin, can you please provide consultancy? Can you give us training? Thousands of dollars. And I love that. You see, it's not like a work anymore. It's a hobby. You can do the same. You can do the same. It's not that hard, but you need to know. And a couple of misconceptions and misunderstandings. And many times people think, oh, you need to be an expert with years of experience. One of my first business mentors, I invested in a lot of different programs and trainings, etc. One of my first business mentors told me, hey, man, if you want to teach your brother or your child to play basketball, let's say, okay, play basketball, you don't have to be an NBA player, right? True or not true? Think about that. All you got to do is just show the skills that you have. Because you are just one step ahead of that person, that's enough. And this is the key. If you are just one step ahead, that means you can teach. That means you can provide help and support. Does it make sense, this part? And this is a big, big myth, okay? We can debunk this myth by explaining that there are lots of remote opportunities, basic, like intermediate skills. And you need to invest heavily in certifications or courses. That's not true. As long as you provide the value, you can do so. It's not that hard, okay? And then you need to quit your job to start. That's also not true. Okay, let's just emphasize that the opportunities, will provide lots of opportunities for you, and small and maybe scale up levels that you can also provide it. Like, it's not like a full-time 40, 50, 60-hour thing. You can do so, okay, with minimal investments. If you have 5 hours a week, you can absolutely do it. If you have like 10 hours a week, that's even better. Obviously, you need to, at first, especially, that you need to give in enough energy. Where the focus goes, energy flows. Especially getting the skills, learning the tactics and strategies. 1 hour a week, it will take a lot of time. You can do so, but it will take a lot of time. But if you give in at least like 5 hours to 10 hours in the first couple of weeks to learn how to do it, and then start executing it, 10 hours a week, let's say you're earning just $40, okay? Let's say even $30, right? Per week. That's $300, okay? By the end of the week, that's more than $1,000. Okay, $1,300, $1,400. That's a lot of money. You can also get some tax incentives. That's another benefit of running your own business, by the way. You can run your business, incorporate it somewhere else. You can pay, not that much tax. So those are the advanced things that we will also talk about. Let me just take a look at the chat in the meantime, if you have any questions at all. I don't want another full-time job. Cool, you can do so, Akvita. Why not? Okay, but you need to decide how many hours can you or do you want to put into this? And when are you available? Let's say you need to take your brother or kids to a soccer game. Okay, every Saturday, Sunday, they have their sessions, whatever. And you don't want to sacrifice that. It's fine. But maybe you're available on Sunday afternoons. Obviously, some sacrifice is required. If you tell me, because sometimes I hear things like that. Hey, Emin, I don't want to work. I just want to make money in my sleep. You can get there, but first of all, you need to earn that money. And then, there are 3 phases, by the way, quick tip for you. At first, you make money, okay, with your time. You work and you generate income. And this is a nice transition from that full-time opportunities to freelancing contracting so that you can get better trade-offs. Number 2 is you earn money through businesses, that you have a business and you don't work like 40, 50 hours, but you collect the profits. That's second level. And on the third level, your money makes money. You have so much money, $4 or $5 million, and then through different investments, interest, now that is true passive income. But to get there, typically you need to save like $5-10 million. It's not that hard, by the way, okay? But you first need to kind of like a snowball effect. You need to put in the time and energy at first. Does it make sense? Let me see. I see a couple of questions here. Morgan says, from my experience today, sales definitely a large part of business management, 100%. You need to know how to sell. If you don't know it, marketing as well, it's not going to work. The big success factor seems to be marketing and the right clients as an SME. That's right. How do you market your company is unique to compete? So that's an amazing question. Let me also tell you this. People buy trust. Typically, trust is granted when we know the companies. For example, Nike, Adidas, right? Apple. They don't have to even market, yet they still do that. Okay, so that people can remember them all the time instead of buying Samsung or whatever. That is granted. But what if you're new? No one knows you. No one trusts you, right? And you are like, no one. You're just getting started. How do you overcome that? Let me break the good news for you. Every company, every company that we operate on, that we see right now, was once like that. They just started. No one knew them. No one. Have you ever watched Steve Jobs' first interviews, or maybe Jeff Bezos? Everyone was kind of, making fun of them in public. Oh, you believe that people buy books online? Ha ha ha. People go to stores, whatever. Now who's laughing? Netflix. Do you remember Blockbuster back then? And I remember I hired a lot of, DVDs back then, CDs, etc., to watch movies. Who's laughing now? So every process is like this. But when it comes to your own journey, what do you need to do? Obviously, you need to play the game differently. You should understand that you need to give enough reasons for people to trust you and believe in you. You need to take the risks yourself. For example, to get the testimonials, instead of charging your regular rate of $100, maybe you'll just charge like $10, $20 to get the initial review and feedback, to build a reputation. And maybe you will tap into your own network to get the initial businesses. And just like Amazon products, I have friends, again, making money online remotely. You know how they make money? Using Amazon. And Amazon has this opportunity, and you join the network and then you leave comments and feedback, okay, for the products that you receive for free, and then you can sell the products to anyone, maybe using eBay or different platforms. They make a lot of money. And why do you think companies are sending you free products? And one of my friends is doing that, by the way. He's receiving free phones, free electronic gadgets. Why? Because companies need those initial testimonials and reviews. When you're just getting started, you play the game emotionally, okay? You tap into the hearts. You show how much you care. You show how much you want to work with them. As you grow, then obviously you start automating things and then you don't pay much attention, but that's the nature of growth. Typically, that's like one of the key strategies that I know works, but there are like other options and strategies as well. It's just like you need to know where you are. You just need to know where you are, okay? And Aguda says, this is the right in my alley. I was planning to talk to you. I can take it 10 hours a week. Absolutely can do this. And you know the dissatisfied customer Blockbuster launch. That's true. That's true. I know that story. Okay. And Blockbuster had the opportunity to acquire Netflix. Did you know that? Okay. But they said no. Oh, no one's going to buy movies like that. And when I first subscribed for Netflix, I think that was back in 2007. I was like putting my address in Brooklyn. I was collecting DVDs, shipping another one, receiving another one. I had like 3 subscriptions. Like I can round like a circle, three different TV shows or movies. If you remember those days. Right now, it's a subscription model because life changes. We need to adapt. Okay, we need to adapt. Okay, I'll talk more about that. So let's dive into the top remote tech opportunities to earn extra income in 2024. By no means this is a complete list. I'm just giving you a couple of examples so that you can start looking around. And then I'll help you more. Okay, and guess what? Surprise. Next week, we have another session as like a follow-up because I want to show after this introduction the practical angle as well so that you have even more understanding of this. And then we'll have an extensive full-blown program later on if you want further help and support. But just even these tips and strategies will help you a ton to get started. So let me just show you a couple of things. First of all, as you can imagine, freelancing and contracting. Coming back to the question that you asked, I think that was Morgan. One of the key learning points for me was I first thought, hey, let me just upload my video courses somewhere. That was happening back in 2015, I guess, or 16. And then because how cool I am, people would find me and then buy my courses. And then I even went ahead and then published ads on Facebook. I had no idea about marketing or sales back then, zero. But take a look at the courage, and then I failed. And then I noticed the importance of marketplaces. Okay. Could be Udemy, could be Upwork, could be Fiverr, could be even TopTal, could be Flex Jobs. And there are like lots of different platforms as well that you can earn money remotely. But do you know why they charge so much? Like Etsy, like Amazon, they charge minimum 30, 40%. Even dropshipping, even for example, grocery applications like DoorDash, like Uber Eats, like Deliveroo, like Just Eat, they charge 30, 40%. Why? Because they have the marketplace. But in return, you get business. And that's what I learned the hard way. And then I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to upload my course to Udemy and then see what happens. Boom, I made more than $20,000 out of it. 3-hour course. That's it. I'm not even paying attention right now. I don't do that anymore because of like business positioning, because we have grown. But my point being is, if you know where you are, you can adjust accordingly. If you need to run ads, you can do so. But that depends on the financial investment that you want to put in. Let's say you want to do this and you want to do this at a level in line with your ambitions and your finances. If you're ready to invest $40,000, $50,000 in this business, that's great. You can do so. You can hire one assistant and one professional who would do the job. And then you can focus on the marketing side. You can start investing in money on Facebook, on Google, on YouTube ads. And then you can start generating revenue. Or if you want to just put in the time, if you don't want to spend money, then you can approach marketplaces. Then you need to know how to run the marketplaces, how to get better testimonials and reviews. If not, you can get businesses with your friends and families, and then through lots of opportunities. We don't have time right now, but in a nutshell, my friends, you need to know where you are and how committed you are, and whether you would want to invest with your time and energy or money, or maybe a little bit of money and the time, like typically you get consultation and mentorship, or maybe a lot of money and a little bit of energy. Typically you just pay people and they do the work for you. But either way, you need to make a selection, and they all have pros and cons. Does that make sense, this part? You cannot just skip ahead and say, hey, you know what? I don't want to spend any money. I don't want to spend any time. I just want to sit and then collect cash. Maybe that is possible, but not in scale. I can guarantee you that. There are ways that, for example, I can teach you that you can easily create books on Amazon and then publish it. Okay, Amazon, you don't have to do anything. But then how much money you will make from that if you're not paying money on advertisement, etc. Most people think, oh, YouTubers, they make a lot of money. Do you know how many hours they work, okay, to create those YouTube videos? It's kind of like a full-time job. So coming back, you need to understand, and this is like typically the first step of this. We have Upwork, we have TopTal. TopTal is amazing if you have experience. If you don't have experience, Fiverr and Upwork and other similar platforms would be a nice starting point. Web development, cybersecurity, software engineering, data analysis, even data entry. Like you really literally take a look at the text on paper and then type it on Word. Who here doesn't know how to use Word at the basic level? Everybody knows. And then you can turn that into cash, right? And then create a compelling profile, target high demand services, and start small to build a portfolio and then scale. Okay, just like the examples I've shown you. Number 2, data entry and transcription. Like Amazon Mechanical Turk, you can take a look at that. And Rev, subscriptions, subtitle service. Just attention to detail, some typing skills. Like if you know how to use a keyboard, for God's sake, and a mouse, you can start earning money with this, right? And then focus on high volume, low complexity tasks, and then earn steadily, and then automate it. That's a key point, because you cannot scale your time, but you can scale the products, even services to some degree. But that's why digital products is key. Virtual assistants, Belay, like Virtual, like Freelancer, some organizational skills, some basic tech knowledge on how to use computers and how to take a look at the phones, etc. I've hired maybe more than 40, 50 people so far in my own businesses. Okay, I worked with a lot of people all around the world, maybe probably more than 10 different countries so far that I work with individuals. It's fine. As long as the job is done, I'm okay. Does it make sense? And you can do the same. You can take part in this. Offer admin tasks like technical support to entrepreneurs or maybe tech companies. Positioning is key though. You might be wondering, okay, I mean, let's just go and do all of it in just one go. No, it's just the opposite. You need to just focus on one and then make it like really deep and then scale it. Because typically, if you're just getting started, you wouldn't like, you don't have enough resources to do everything at once. Even everything at once. Even the large entities, organizations don't do that. Why do you think they, do you know how much money Meta, like Facebook back then, paid for Instagram to acquire? $19 billion. Why do you think they paid that much money? They have people, very smart people working for them, right? They have the resources, they have the time. But starting something is very different, unique, challenging. That's why you need to be extremely focused, and then you can scale. That's one of the key tips I can tell you. Online surveys and user testing like Survey Junkie, just basic internet usability internet skills. That's it. Okay. You can sign up for multiple platforms for the same thing. By the way, again, if you try to run a course, create a book on Amazon, do freelancing, different things, user testing, different things, it will just complicate your message. Please avoid that. Creating online courses like Udemy, Teachable, and then specific tech field is key, like programming, cybersecurity. But let's say there's AI, very popular right now, right? And if you have like a basic setup, just like I have right now, and even not like as this quality, because I have 4K cameras, I have my lights. I've been doing this for a long time. That's why I have the resources. But if you're just getting started, just pay attention to the most important things. And then if AI is valuable right now, like with Poe, like with Cloudy, in fact, I'm just typing in the chat so that you can see what I'm talking about. Like Poe app is a good one. Cloudy, again, ChatGPT, everybody knows this, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. And they can teach people how to use it. Meaning you can get the skills yourself, maybe in 1 or 2 days, and then immediately turn it into something else. You don't have to become an expert yourself. All you got to do is to position yourself accordingly. Another one, technical writing on Upwork, Freelancer, Fiverr. There are lots of opportunities on this website. I will give you more practical examples in the next session. You can write technical expertise, guidance documents. In cybersecurity, you can write policies, and then target companies need that. Instead of like doing it themselves, they can just hire you, give you $500, $1,000, $5,000, and then you can make money out of it. But you need to understand, first of all, and then choose what you want. Because what happens is if you don't do that, you know what? You'll be all over the place. All over the place. It's not going to work. Like Clarity FM, again, freelancer, specialized knowledge in any area. Again, data, cybersecurity, software, IT, even help desk assistants. You can do so. Like cloud, for example. You can learn the basics of cloud, how to set up, for example, virtual machines. Boom. People are willing to pay for those things. Okay. You can offer your advice. Another one. I have 3 more. Any questions? Just type in the chat. Building and selling digital products. And I love this. Why? Because that's scalable. Code Canyon, Theme Forest. It might require like software development, web development, but using AI, you can even bypass that. So for example, I have my colleague Harun here, right? Harun knows a lot in tech, but sometimes he doesn't know some software development skills or scripts. It's fine. But what does he do? Goes to AI, ChatGPT, Cloudy, and then gets the outcome. Maybe if you're interested in visuals, you can go to Canva, you can create a visual, right? And then you can sell it. Beautiful PowerPoint slide decks. I know someone, and she's crushing it with creating professional looking corporate PowerPoint slide decks. So she creates templates. She's making hundreds of thousands of dollars every year creating slide decks. Can you imagine? So you don't have to be like an expert, but you need to make it very narrow and decide what you want. Does it make sense, this part? Yes, Morgan. Policy writing is very in demand in technical writing. Okay. Remote tech support. Support comp, just answer, basically advanced tech support knowledge, provide on-demand support for common technical issues. One important mindset thing, my friends, is this. Typically, if you're interested in this, the reason why you want to taste it first and then test it, and then use it, is because you need to understand the logic behind things. And then you can scale it by hiring other people and then automating process. And then you hit gold. And then you start making real money. Okay. Because if not, you will always be trading your time with money. It's okay if that's what you want. It's okay if, hey, Emin, I don't want to change my full-time job. I don't want to start any business. I don't want the hassle. I just want an extra $5,000 income every month. It's perfect if that's what you want. But if you're interested in scaling a business, like making literally millions of dollars, that's a different ball game. And these opportunities will help you with that too. Okay. Code review services, code mentor, freelance sites, coding testing experience. You can offer review, improve code. Again, thanks to AI, things are a lot easier these days. And then finally, creating tech products and marketing via YouTube, earning money from maybe sponsorships and ads. That's a different channel. Content creation and tech knowledge. Again, consistency is key. And typically what I would recommend, if your time is limited, if let's say you want to learn a specific skill set and then you immediately want to turn that into cash, instead of focusing and investing in long-term things. So for example, I have my YouTube plank here. Do you see this one? More than 100,000 followers we recently passed. But it took a lot of time and effort and energy, which means money. So for some of these options here, you need to wait for the right time. If that's what you want, you can do so. But that really depends on what you want. Okay. And how soon do you want to start earning money? The strategy is key. That's why, speaking of the strategy, let me wrap up with the process that I would highly recommend. And then I'll take your questions, if any, and then we go from there. Okay. So the process. First of all, skills development in the remote tech economy. That's number one. Number two, how do you attract clients? And we received a question like that. And number three, conversions and pre-sale. And number four, closing deals. And number five, client experience. And number six, growth and scale. And then number seven, advanced strategies, optimization, and automation. Okay, so let's just look into that. First of all, getting started. What is this? You need to know the opportunities. Why is this important? Why freelancing? Why contracting? Everybody can win, but you need to position yourself. Okay, why running your own business is the best job in the world? If that's a job, if that qualifies for a job. Pros and cons and equipment that you need. Fast internet, a laptop, most likely. But if you want to run a YouTube channel, obviously you need like a high quality camera, etc. And then tech skills development, transferring your skills, like all the available skills. If you are a software developer right now, why not you start with them? If you don't know anything, just choose something small and then learn it as quickly as possible and then start earning money. Typically, big mistake I see in the marketplace. People look at very long distance goals and then they just study, and then work hard, and then I am this. I know everything about, let's say, AWS or Azure. Instead, why don't you start earning money with the very simple skill sets? Okay, just using computer, fixing maybe malware issues in cyber, or maybe data entry. Maybe if you want to become a data analyst using Tableau, the basics, etc. So choose a goal that you can start generating income within the next 8 to 12 weeks maximum. Okay. Otherwise, it would be like for manual, gearbox cars, trying to start the car and then drive it with the third or the fourth gear. It's really hard. Soft skills, just like we covered earlier in the session, that's key. Communication, marketing, business development, mindset, marketing, sales, all that. And then client attraction, personal branding, and business branding. You need to understand this, right? You must have a brand. You must have a name. And then a website, maybe. Something, whatever that you need to let people know you are in the game. Okay. Otherwise, how can people find you? That's a new identity. You need to step into that. You need to create your portfolio, build relationships. But then how can you attract clients? What's the process like? Most people have no idea. I had no idea when I first started. I learned it the hard way, but you can bypass it. You can learn from others' experiences. My experience, from someone else's experience, you can find it. And then you need to create your profile. Maybe that's a business profile. Maybe if that's a freelancing website, you need to create it. Good. How much are you going to charge for your hour, or maybe for the work? And then behind the scenes, what's happening? How you can jumpstart your creativity. Okay. In fact, for example, one very interesting thing that I recently learned that's amazing. If you want to publish a book or something, or maybe a course, okay, one of the easiest ways to do is to go to For Dummies series. Do you know that website? Yellow for dummies. I'll show you next week for dummies because they spend millions of dollars to find the niches specifically, and then they create their books accordingly. All you got to do is just take a look at their recent publications and then do something better. That's it. And now that's a positioning. Okay. Does that make sense, this part? It's crazy. No problem, Simran. Make sure that you get back to this. Okay. So, step 3, conversions and pre-sale. Proposals. Writing proposals that land gigs. What to say in a proposal. What to say in a meeting. How to save your best clients to get them recurring clients. Okay. How to create a video conveying your message. Fixed contracts, hourly contracts, how are you going to get the jobs, find the jobs, researching the problem, finding the problem. Exactly. What are you going to do to sell right now? And after that step, obviously closing deals. You see, we haven't even started doing the work yet. That's why the marketing and then positioning yourself is so important. And then interview, how to use the interview to get the job, how to close your first contracts, how to find and keep the best clients, how to set up the contract to win, how to get paid. Most people don't even recognize, but getting paid is a trouble, headache for most people because they don't know what they're doing. They do the work, sometimes they don't get paid. You can skip all those mistakes. When, how to increase your rate, how much are you going to charge? Are they willing to pay for this? Improving your skill set, you can learn, you can earn, and then you can learn. And then providing client experience. This is key. Let me just pause here for a moment. If you do a good job, okay, you will get referrals. And then that's the best part because that means you don't have to spend money on marketing or sales. They come to you. Most successful companies, okay, around the world, they do that. That's why they are successful. Otherwise, finding clients using marketplaces, they take 30, 40, 50% of your income. Finding clients through social media or Google ads, etc., like paid ads, that's also expensive. So how can you provide the best client experience? You get the best testimonials, people will recognize you as success, and then you can crush your competition. Because at the end of the day, you're going to compete with people. Private versus public feedback, how to separate fact from fiction, how to command a premium price, avoid problem clients, say no, how to fire your clients. Like they're willing to pay you money, and then you say, hey, no, go. I'm not going to work with you. That requires a lot of internal strength, but you must have it. Growth and scale. Like if you are unable to find clients with big budgets, then how can you do it? Then slow weeks and crazy weeks, it's not like a safe and steady paycheck. And then how you can grow, listening to market demand, lots of details. And then finally, step 7 is advanced strategies, optimization, like 12 things you should never do in the remote tech economy, nitty-gritty details of contracting, freelancing. And I love this part because this is really the business side of things. How you can scale with others people's time. For example, many times people think, oh, I don't have the money, meaning I cannot start it. Well, you can leverage, for example, banks' money. Okay, I'm not a big fan of getting loans and then they charge a lot of interest. But if that serves you, you can consider that. Okay? Or maybe you can work collectively, get a partner. You can use other people's time and money and skills and then take the profits. Okay? That's how, again, most successful individuals and companies grow. And then finally, advanced personal branding. How are you going to, run social media ads, paid ads? And that's a whole different ballgame. Okay? How to run ads on Facebook, on TikTok, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on X, right? If you know, it's just like a money printing machine. But if you make a mistake, then it goes like this and then you will lose your money. So devil is in the details. But if you get this part done right, it works like a magic. It works like a magic. Because if you think, oh, I'll do a good job and then Google will rank me on the first page, you know how difficult that is, how much time and effort and money and energy that you need to put into that. Instead, what I would recommend is create an amazing marketing funnel that supports the economics behind it. Like if you're spending $100 on ads to get one client, and then you only earn $50 per client, clearly you are losing money. Okay? But if you get that economics done right, you can grow at scale. And that's the best part. And then finally, how to bypass marketplaces so that you get the client yourself, charge the client yourself. And then again, you need to pay attention to different things. But when you get to that level, that means you're really kind of like scaling at that level. Does that make sense, this part? These are the 7 steps that anyone can follow. but there are like obvious details. There are mistakes that you can avoid. So for the next step, now let's take a closer look at the platforms you will use next week. So we will follow up next week. Make sure to join the session next week as well. I will show you the hands-on part of this, okay? And then this is called Business Academy. Like typically what we do here at Peak Cyber Institute, we have different programs and products and services. We help people start or scale their careers in tech and cybersecurity. But more and more, I receive a lot of requests like, hey, Emin, I want to do this, but I want to do this part-time. I don't want to, quit my job yet, etc. So that's why we started this new initiative called Business Academy. Okay. And within Business Academy, we'll help you grow and scale and start your own business or start earning money remotely online. Okay. As a freelancer contractor, or maybe selling digital products or services. And you will learn from the mistakes, from my mistakes, from others' mistakes, so that you can avoid them. And then you don't take as much risk. Always you would need to invest your time and energy. That's a different thing if you're interested in that. But what's the alternative anyway, if you don't take action? So if you're interested in that, don't forget to join next week as well at the same time. I can take your questions right now. And just like I promised, we are going to drop my ebook that's on Amazon, available on Amazon, but you'll get that for free. And I will share it with you on our Discord channel. Make sure that you join that and then download that and read it. That's specifically focused on getting a full-time job in cyber, but you will learn a lot that you can also apply for Business Academy. Or maybe you're interested in getting a full-time job. That's cool too. It doesn't matter. As long as you're interested in making money in tech world, maybe that's a full-time, part-time, contracting, freelancing, running a business, etc. We are here to help, okay, and share the experience. So that being said, let me just start the screen share and then take a look at where we are, take a look at the chat. Of course, Morgan, it's my pleasure, okay? So please, let's stay in touch on Discord, exchange messages, and there will be different info sessions as well, okay? You will hear the announcements. And then if you have any specific questions, like personal questions at all, about your career growth, about this Business Academy program, and about all that, just let us know, okay? And the easiest way, okay, for you to reach out to us is by visiting cybertransform.com/apply so that you can book a call with one of my colleagues and see how we can help. And one of the key things that how we do things, my friends, is we are not here to work with anyone, okay? Meaning we don't work with everyone because we cannot help, okay? We are looking for the most committed, coachable, and resourceful professionals for the part-time freelancing, remote tech economy opportunities, or maybe full-time opportunities in cyber. And I see a lot of friends already in our programs. I love seeing them. And if you want more, like, hey, I mean, I want an honest opinion. We typically reject people because we cannot help them. But feel free, go to that link, and then let's just stay in touch on Discord as well. You will receive a lot more detailed trainings, okay? So make sure that you stay in touch with us. And many thanks for your attention. Many thanks for your time, okay? You will receive the recording as well, okay, on our Discord channel. And don't forget to join next week because next week is the action week. I will show you practically how to go about these platforms, how to get started so that you can turn your skills, experience, or interest to earning a lot of money in the tech world, okay? Of course, Mohammed, my pleasure. And I will speak with you guys very soon. Thanks for your patience. Speak to you later, my friends. Bye-bye. Take care. Talk soon. Bye. Bye, everyone.